welcome to another React class. We continue from where we stopped on the development on Process Guide website. I'm going to be doing one or two interesting things, and that will be using other packages that has been designed by other people and then leverage on that and use it to build or enhance what we have here. We will be learning more about NPM. Not really deep, but we'll be going into it to do one or two things. Before I do that, I want to take this site to another level. So I want to add menu. There's no menu system here. And for now, let's just do that menu, because that menu is going to open up another thing we want to do, which is using linking pages to other pages. Now, this is where the logo is. Obviously, you know that your menu is going to stay on top of this place after the logo. So what I just need to do is to copy a template from Bootstrap to design my menu for me. I can just go to Bootstrap and pick that navbar. So this is using navbar available already. I'll just copy what is there already and then I can start making use of it. So I'll pick this one. So let's go ahead. Now, where do I want to put it? I want to put it here. So just take note of what's going on there. I have my entire menu system coming right there. So that's our menu system on top of that place. So what I want to do is to change what I have here to focus on the logo. And that's why I have the logo highlighted, so that I don't need to worry myself about bringing it. And then I remove these other ones. I have my logo sorted out. The other thing that is making it look like that is because we specified that the navbar should be light and BG light. So we don't need that in our template. You can see that it's looking kind of neat. The other thing we need to do is to be able to move this one to the right, extreme right. We can use deflex to do that. And what do I have? I have my content justify to right. Remember what we want to be able to do today? We want to be able to use other modules or other packages by other vendors or other people that must have done something interesting in React. So we want to make use of that facility. And diving into that, we require us to go into a little bit advanced stuff, some theoretical stuff, which is fine. The next thing I want to do is we want to make use of icons. Like, I want to use icon here. I want to be able to use icons. I'm sure you guys know about Bootstrap icons. And what it does is that it gives you a kind of ability for you to have icons incorporated in your site. How do you then bring this kind of icons on React? You can bring this on a normal website, but for React, it's kind of different. How do you bring it in? Because this has already been designed by someone else already. You already have so many great tools developed by other people. You don't need to reinvent the wheel and do what other people have done before. So there's something we called NPM, Node Package Manager. So this is the site, and what this site does is that it allows you to browse for packages that people have designed that you can leverage on. That's the main purpose of this site. And it's not everything that React can do. There are some things that React, they didn't provide for. Remember, React was designed by Facebook. The major purpose of React is creating components. So let's not forget that. But there are other things that other people have designed that makes it easy to turn React into sophisticated tools that it is now. And we're going to be able to leverage on those kind of functionality that other people have developed. And that is using the NPM. The terminal here is where you're going to be running your NPM command. So before you install anything, I once showed you guys something here under node modules. Your node modules contains all the third-party tools you've installed before. The question will be, when did I install all these things? They come with React or Vite. So they are something that you are using, but you are not aware of them. React can be using it in its own execution. It doesn't concern you because you are not really bothered about that. So React are using some things, Vite are using some things. So there are some things that are being used under the hood that you are not aware of. So which is fine. But now we want to also make use of things. We want to consciously now make use of tools ourselves that we want to make use of. So the first tool that we're about to go and check for now is called React Bootstrap Icons. And what that tools allow you to do is that it allows you to bring Bootstrap icons into your React application. The purpose of all this is such that you can use other tools developed by other people in your own React application. Now, looking at this, you can see all the information about the tool. The name of the package is called React Bootstrap Icons, which is very important. And then you can read about the installation and the usage of any of the package on this website. So when you come here, you see the installation. The installation says you run this code, npm install react bootstrap icons save. To install it, you pop up your terminal like this and you do npm. You can just simply copy what is there, npm install. So once you do this, you see it just install it for you. Very straightforward. What you've just done is that you've just installed this piece of library that enhances your site to be able to use icon. That's what you just did. You could actually search for it, even though it's not necessary. On the left hand side, that's R, React Bootstrap. So let's look for R, React Bootstrap. That's it here, React Bootstrap. So it's actually available. Even React itself is a Node.js package. So how funny, right? So all the packages are all here, like I said, are all in Node.js module. So that's like the main engine powering the whole thing that is working right now. So now that we've installed this guy, let's move on to the next thing. The next thing is let's consume it, let's use it, right? Let's go ahead and use this tool that we've created. Now let's go back to the site and see where we want our icon to show. First of all, I want my icon to show, let me just put the icon here first in the personal coach. Since this is still hot, let me quickly put the image here before we forget what we are doing. So let's put our icon and let me show you how to bring in the icon. Before you bring in your icon, you have to import it. Guys, remember import. Anything you want to do has to be imported in where you are using it on. So you write your import and what do you want to import? You have to specify what exactly you're importing. Sometimes you might not know exactly what you want to import, or you want to import everything. In this case, we're importing everything. I'll teach you more about importation later. Import everything as icon. You want to create an alias because you need to be able to use something to say, okay, this is what it is in the system. So you need to use alias. So the icon there is an alias, or you can say I. It's not, you don't have to write icon. So you can say import everything as I. From where? So you then need to know the name of the package you want to install from. The name of the package is called React. Just the way we installed it, the name is called, is what you call it there. So immediately you do that, you have your package ready for you and it's available in your I variable here. So then you can then go ahead and use it. Let's use it immediately where we have this coach, this guy winking. So let's use it immediately we have there. So how do you consume this? So let's go where we have our banner. Yes, this place. So how do you make use of it? You know it's JavaScript, guys. It's not just ordinary string. It's a JavaScript code. So to implement the JavaScript, what do you do? Remember our curly braces. Our curly braces is a way for you to introduce JavaScript. Then what are you adding? It's actually a tag, right? And how do you specify a tag in React is by introducing your tag. Remember our alias that we use. Our alias start with I. Then you follow with dots. You can then specify the kind of icon you want. Automatically the system can scroll through all the icons. You know, you are using a Visual Studio Code, and Visual Studio Code is smart. It allows you to scroll through all the icons you have in Bootstrap. So I can just say bank 2 and then I can close my tag. If I save, look at what you have there. You have your icon sitting pretty right there in front of our guy winking. So you can go ahead and do more settings there. It allows you to specify color. It allows you to specify the size. It allows you to specify also the class name. So if you want to pass on specific class to it, you can say BG info. So it allows you to specify class as well. But I'm going to remove all that and then go with what we have here. So I want to do something, to enhance our banner here, to enhance this guy, to make the site look pretty. So I'm going to do it a little bit fast. Let's remove this icon. I need it somewhere else. in the system. So quickly, let's design a nifty banner here where we're going to capture something else. So I'm going to go up here and start capturing that information. I need that information here. So I need to make this position relative so that I can create a banner. I can call it banner card. And the banner card is going to have a row that is going to have column of 1. I'm going to make this 2 and then make this 10, such that I can have an icon here, make this award fill, and then so that to preview what is showing there, I can increase the size of the award. Okay, let's do 30, and I can come here and do H6. So we have congratulations, and I can do like a span here and say something like this. But let's go ahead and style this banner here. What I want to do, this mini banner, I want to go and style it to give me a kind of result. So first of all, I want the banner to be white. So let's make bottom 20%, 10%. Then I need the border radius to be 5. So I need to style only for H6. So margin 0. Okay, we're almost there. I need to reduce the font of the span. 13, just right. Yeah, a little bit transparent, a little bit. Opacity 0.5, too much. 0.8, 0.9. I need to put some color to it. Use this class name guy. I want to be able to do BG background success. Then I want to make sure that it's rounded. Rounded, let me do 4 rounded. And then I want to do padding 2, then increase the size to 40. Then change the color to white. Then I want to be able to change the rounded to 5 and space out the congratulations section. So this is fine. So let's move on to the next thing, guys. So now what I've been able to do now is you can see how I put the icon to use here. The next thing is for me to put the icon in this section where we have why choose us. I want to be able to put all these places I have job, online, icon. That's where the icon is supposed to sit. How to pass components as a props. So look at this box as it is now. This box is located here. And if I want to use the icon, remember that I want to be able to pass this icon dynamically so that the icon will just appear here. And how do you then pass it? Instead of passing it as a string, remember that it's coming as a string. That's why it's having the job there. But instead of passing as a string, let's pass the icon itself and see what happens. So where is it consumed? We consume it in the body. So this is where we have it here. And how do we then use this section? We can just pass any of the icon to it now just to test what is going on. But before we can use the icon, we have to import it. Remember, where we used it for before was in the header. And we are done with the header section. We are done. We are moving on to the next part of the page, which is the body. In the body now, we need to pass our icon into, we need to pass the Bootstrap icon into this section so that it can be consumed individually inside the component. That's the idea of what we want to do now. So let's go ahead and see how we can make that happen. So first of all, you need to be able to import it. Let's repeat our importation now. But because now we've used icon as our alias, that's what I'm going to use in my code when I'm referencing to it. Now note that what we are bringing in is what? A React component. So you have to pass React component inside here as opposed to a string. How do you pass React component? Very easy. You specify, because React component is what? Is JavaScript. So how do you then start writing JavaScript? Is by doing your parentheses here. Of course, you're going to remove this quote because this quote means is a string. So when you remove that quote, you are left with this parenthesis. So this parenthesis allows you to express JavaScript stuff there. So if it allows you to express JavaScript, you can also express React component inside there. So we do our icon dot. So for a start, we can just test airplane. Well, we're going to change it to what exactly we need. So immediately you do that, notice what happened to your airplane. Your airplane is now there. Let me just put the the size so that we can see it. So let's do 40. You can see your airplane there sitting pretty. So you can see how we've been able to pass another React element as what? As a props. So let's move on and put the right icon that will do the job for us. So let's look for the icon names that will depict what exactly we want. This is going to be a little bit of challenge. So let's quickly search for Bootstrap icon. We need to move fast, guys. So let me search for the icon that will depict job placement. So let me search for something like, say, job. Let me say work. Okay, I like this works personal presentation. So let me see which one will work for presentation. This personal coaching. So that's the third icon. Let me go and change the third icon to personal workspace. This is the name of the icon from Bootstrap. So that name is very important because that name is what you are going to use to reference to the icon name you want to use. That's why I'm copying it. I have to go to the site to go and look for the name. You have to browse through the collection of icons to see what you want to use. So I want to change this personal coaching. I just replicate what I have here. How to link one page to another page. There's a process to it, connecting page to the next page. First of all, we go to our app. This your app section is where you are going to introduce something I called route. Before we start going with the details of what you need to do, you need to locate the tool that is going to help you to do that. So let's go ahead and do the installation. How do you install your React route? Your React route allows you to link one page to another page. Let's go ahead and see the installation procedure. So I go to my terminal and do the installation. The installation is npm install, you put the whole name. So when you do this, you have this installed, it goes through the installation process, then it's installed. Now that it's done, let's go to the usage of the component. Because your website or your app is going to be linking one page to the other, you need to wrap everything around what I call a browser router. It's a requirement, by the way. You have to follow some set of conditions. You have to follow some set of rules in order to use the tool that these people have deployed. So they're the one that provided that platform. So there's a way you have to write the syntax to match what it is that you want to do. So let's go ahead and start the implementation. Everything you must have written here, you need to encapsulate it inside the code I'm about to write now. And now let's import what we need. You're going to be needing three things: the browser router, the route, and then routes. So the route is to demonstrate that you have more than one route. So it's kind of like a container to group everything together. Because we want our site to be able to use router, we have to wrap the whole app inside browser router. So this is more like giveaway. So this one does not require more explanation than what it is now. The next thing we need to do is to define the routes, to specify that you are routing more than one thing. So it will also be at the top level of everything. So you are wrapping everything inside this section like this. Very important. The next part you want to be able to do is to specify the route for the entry point of the app. How does the app enters the system? We start through this method. So I'm going to comment this one out, which we are going to use later. So this layout is supposed to be the header. And the idea of a layout is the structure of your template that you are building. In a template, we always have header section and the bottom. The bottom is supposed to be the other part of your page that will be changing. Most of the time, your menu will not change. It's the bottom that will change. That's why this one is called layout, but I call it header. It's header that we use, right? And then we can go ahead and end our route. So now that we have our route this way, the next thing is to start processing the pages that we want our site to have. Apart from the fact that it's going to have routes, let's go ahead and even process this to show before we continue. Let's make sure that our header can render. So how do we then make our header render? Let's go ahead to the header section. Now in the header section, what we then need to implement, we need to implement two things. We need to implement the link and also outlet. What outlet does is that it allows you to render the current part, the later part of the page, which is now in this case the body. You know we have a body tag, so that's what the outlet allows you to do. How do you bring in all the things that you want to do? We're using two functions, like I mentioned, two components. You are using outlet and also link. The outlet allows you to render the other part of the page, while the link allows you to use the navigational button here to link to other pages. You're going to see us use the link right now. So how do you now define the other part of the page using outlet? It's just by specifying the outlet tag and say, when you are done rendering all these parts of the page, the rest of the page should render where? Should render just at the bottom here. That's what this one is talking to. That's the work of what that one is saying. Now, how do you then go ahead and link, make use of this link? So let's focus on the link that we have here. So it's pretty straightforward. To add this, to make this link, clickable, is to define a new tag, which is called link. So what that link does is that it creates an a link. This link now is React link. And then you specify where you want to go to. You said whenever anybody end up at this directory, that's the routes where there's nothing. Whenever anybody end up at that point, what happens? It should go to home. That means it's home. So anybody that clicks here, it should end up at this route. That's what this one is, talking to. So that it maintains the feature that we have here, the styling that we have here. So we need to do this for the other ones that we have there. So we need to also build the same thing for courses. But notice what is going to happen. The difference that we're going to have here is that we're going to have the path channel to what? Courses. Make sure you maintain small letter. So it's going to be going to courses. The same thing for the last one, or second to the last one, is going to be going to where? Contact. Do you see what is happening to the route now? The route is being specified. You're specifying that whenever you have whatever on your domain name /contact, you should go to look for the contact route and navigate there. We do the same thing for sign up. So here we just use one word, sign up. Let's continue what we're doing in this section. Now in this section, the next thing for us to do is now to specify the routes, individual routes, because we've not specified individual routes. What we just did here was to specify the layout, which is like the header. So now how do you specify to go to a specific place, and which is the body? But I'm gonna change that body to home soon. But let's put body and see what we have here. Default, if you come to body like this, it will work. But we need to change this body to home. This body needs to be called home page. So how do we go ahead with it? I'm just going to do rename. I'm going to rename everything to home page, home page, home page. I need to go to where I created the body and change it to home page, and go to the folder itself, the file itself, and change everything to home page. It's now looking better now, even though we're not done by a long shot. What this is just saying is that the index page should just be home. We've not done the routing proper. Now, how do we go to other pages? We'll just test some pages and then we'll see how it goes. So our home page, if we click on home courses, of course it's going to give us error. Do you see that it's going, but it's not going anywhere, right? Because the error is happening at the back end. So if you click, you can see that it's saying sign up, but it's not going anywhere because there are two things. Number one, the sign up page has not been created. Number two, we've not actually routed to sign up page. So let's go ahead and route to courses page and then create courses route as well. So easy to do. Let's create course page. So I've gone to create course page and then specify the path. What path do I want to call it? I'll call it the same name that is being used here, and that name is called courses. So when you specify courses there, it's being recognized as what? As a path. However, you've not created your courses page, mind you. So let's go ahead and create our courses page. I'm going to import it, even though I've not created it. I'll just, prepare it like that. And let's create our course page. I'll come here and add course page .jxs. Then what do I do? We do the needful and create what we need to create and say this is the course page, and we export. Okay, so I'm sure you can see what's going on now. So if I click on home is going to home. Courses, you can see that the courses is showing now. Then I need to change. Why is it showing courses? So one is contact. Let's go to the link part. So this should be contact us. So if I click on home, you can see that home is working. If I click on courses is also working because this is what we put in courses. If you click on contact will not work because there's no contact page. So contact will not work. There's also no sign up page, it will not work. But we've created their link and availability. We're ready to create them. So quickly, let's create them so that they will at least show something. So let's say contact us .jxs, and I'll just copy what we did in course and replicate it in contacts, and then I'll just say contact us page. This is contact us page. We are doing fine. We duplicate this for sign up page, then I duplicate this and I call it sign up page, and I change this to sign up page, and I say something serious here, sign up now. Okay, now that I've done that, I've gone ahead to create all the pages. What I then need to do is to go to the app and connect them to the routing system, because if you don't connect them, it's more like you are registering the route. So register home and we'll register courses, we'll not register contacts. That's why it's not showing. So you need to register contacts, that when you get to a part called contacts, if you did not write the spelling well, it will not go. When you get to the page called the part called contacts, it should load what? It should load contact us page. So contact us page needs to also be imported like this from the contact us page guy. Okay, so there is error somewhere. So you said that failed to resolve import contact us page. So let's make sure that we wrote our contact us page very well. So that it's not called, okay, we didn't add page at the end. So we've done that, and obviously you need to refresh before it will listen to you. So now we've done home, courses, contact us. We've not done sign up. So let's go back and do sign up. In fact, let's leave it there and then let's just go do sign up like that. Sign up, and then this is also called sign up page. The same thing, you repeat what is here. Sign up page, sign up page. So on save, it should just work. Now look at what this brings to the system, what it does, for you. What this does is that it makes it easy for you to go ahead and build or implement other parts of the system. Your focus can just be on the page you are working on, and then you don't worry about every other part again in the system. We'll create more dynamism, in the system, in the sense that this top section might need to go off, in the sense that in courses page, I don't want to repeat this guy, right? I don't want to repeat this guy. In contact us page, the menu need to stop showing from here, actually, not from this page. So let's fix it and we call it a day. Let's fix that. That issue is going into our header, because our header, the part that is very important, is actually supposed to be our nav. That's supposed to be our header section, so that this other section here can actually fit into the body or in the home page. So I'm gonna come here. Let me just type something to make sure that I'm seeing that section here. Good. This section is going to go to the home section, home page. I'm gonna cut this one away, a kind of section in the home like this. So I've brought in the home. Of course, also need to do some of the icon I did here in the home. So this is the issue with the home, but I'm gonna fix it right now, guys. But even though it will not be clean, so that we can have something to go home with. What I want to do is this top part, I'm gonna bring it in. I'm gonna repeat this one here. I'm gonna repeat it in the home. Yeah, this is the weird stuff we're gonna have, but I can always close the top part a little bit. Let me see what this guy is saying. Yes, but you can see the point at which there is a break in the design. But I can always do so. If it changed now, it's kind of making sense. This is what is expected for any page. Once you go to each of the pages, you should be able to have this kind of effect. But what I want to do now is the other solution is to make sure that the top banner have a kind of fixed background, while this one can change like usual as it is now. The top can have this color continuously, so I can make this one top part and this one can be top part 2, while the major one can be top part 1, which is the one for header can be top part 1, so that I can go to the styling. Where is the styling guy again? Yes, so I can then mention that one is part 1 and the other is part 2, so that the part 1 guy we just maintain the same color all through, which is for routes that does not exist. Currently we have courses, like I said here. So if someone just type in a route or they found themselves in a route that does not exist, the system should be able to reroute them to maybe a page that does not exist or something. There should be a way for the system to identify pages that does not exist. How does the system know that? It's all handled in the route section. So here, when you get to this part here, you can actually specify when any part that is not defined is being captured. That's what this asterisk means. That any part that is not listed in this part in the system, we have 1, 2, 3 parts or 4 parts. If anything outside of these 4 parts get listed, just say display a page called no page, right? Display a page called no page. That no page, we're going to create it. So I'm just going to quickly create a page called no page, or you can give it a fancy name, say error page. So quickly, we're going to create a page called no page. Of course, we are trying to call a page that does not exist. So I'm going to duplicate the current page that we have here and call this no page. I'm going to put all these things here and say page does not exist. If you do that, and then let's now mistakenly put a part that does not exist. So if you put this now, Do you see what you get? You get page does not exist. This is how, you see all those fancy websites that if you type anything, it will still, bring you, page does not exist or something. That's how they do page does not found or what have you. This is the basic of using route. There are more advanced form of it, but we'll stop here for today. So you guys can then go and implement route on your own template, and let me see, how it goes. So have fun. Thank you for staying to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on bell notification in order to be notified when we release new videos. See you in the next one.